Hey, ladies and gentlemen, once again, thanks for coming out and supporting live comedy. My name is Sean. I'm with the Arlington Improv Comedy Club, and today we have a very special guest with us. This gentleman has toured the country. You've seen him on Space Ghost. He's a wonderful husband. At least that's what his wife says. I don't believe it. But ladies and gentlemen, please welcome a wonderful gentleman, Mr. Flip Orley. Flip Orley, how are you doing? That is an extremely dramatic entrance.
Let's get it out of this.
Peekaboo. Hey, Flip, how's it going, man? You doing all right? Flip, hey, man, thanks for coming out today. So the question of the day that we're trying to hit, people have Googled it, is unique date ideas. We're trying to give some ideas for people to have some unique date ideas, some different things than the norm. I guess I'm going to bounce it over to you. What are some unique date ideas, or perhaps some date ideas you don't recommend?
Okay, well, you know what? First dates, I think, are always awkward because you don't know anything about that person, really. You're not sure if you're going to have good conversation. So I often recommend on a first date that you go to a place where you can't talk. So, for instance, NASCAR. I think NASCAR is a perfect first date because you get to wear earphones, right? And then all you got to do is look at each other and smile, and it's a great first date because you really don't even have to like the person that much. You're watching a race.
You can't. It's really hard to screw up by saying something stupid when she can't hear you. Like if she wants to leave during the NASCAR event because of something you said. You said something absolutely incredibly racist or wrong or offensive. That is a good point.
Or she's the best cheering on the planet. One of the two.
So maybe some other ideas, some other unique ideas. Perhaps scavenger hunt. Maybe you send them on a little scavenger hunt, run them around the city, picking up stuff for like a picnic or something, or maybe like a birthday present, you know, and they can pick up a whole bunch of different items. That's kind of unique.
I think it's a great idea. And again, it depends on if it's a first date or if you've been dating or if you're married as to, you know, I think you've got to be smart about it, which, you know, which items they need to find, where they need to go, because a first date, again, you can screw that up if you get a little bit too aggressive, I think.
No, you're exactly right. It's you know, it's funny because you got to kind of think ahead when you, first dates are always like, you can't put the bar too high. You got to keep that bar pretty low. It's like the first birthday you guys do together. Don't go out and buy her some badass jewelry or something like that, because the next birthday you got to at least get that. So make sure if it is an early date, you keep it semi-unique, but nothing crazy. You know, you don't want her expecting a tour with a helicopter around town every time you guys get together, because that could be pretty expensive.
Or you go just the opposite. You actually get a really, really amazing present the first date.
Okay.
Right? Which may, depending on the personality, hook them.
Okay.
And then each aggressive thing, it gets less good to see if over time they like the stuff or they really start liking you.
That's a good way to determine if they're materialistic. I like it, Flip. It sounds like you've been through a few relationships. Have you?
Well, hang on a second. I've had a couple.
Yeah. That's terribly funny. You've been through a few. So as far as bad ideas, anything that you can think of that are maybe bad ideas for dates?
Well, again, everything to me, it depends on how well the person knows you.
Right.
Whether the first date, whether or not you're married, whether someone gets your sense of humor or not. So, as an example, a bad first date, especially if someone doesn't know your sense of humor, don't go to a Bill Cosby costume contest, like look-alike party, and then continue to offer like bizarre drinks to your date.
And definitely don't let her drink anything from anybody else. That is for sure. That's now an adjective. We're like, yeah, you've been Bill Cosby. That is not what I think he would have expected his name to be after all these years. Let's not dive too dark on this one.
Well, no, just anytime you go to a place where people are wearing like awkward-looking sweaters and offering you Jello shots, I think it's a bad idea.
Would you like a Jello shot? No. Taxi, tab. Let's get the hell out of here.
I'm gonna pass.
Obviously, you're a stand-up comedian slash hypnotic hypno boy. You're probably one of the best hypnosis comedians in the country.
One of the best?
Okay. Really? I'm not trying to get on here and make people. Okay, yeah, you're the best. I mean, I've seen a bunch of them.
Here's how it works. When I talk, I'd like to say I hope I'm one of the best because I need to be humble. Right? When you're talking about me, it's like, oh, you're the best. Evidently, I need to get that crystal ball back out to teach you what's what.
Well, like I said, you are extremely funny. Well, like you're the difference. Here's the difference. Like most hypnotic or hypno comedians are so focused on the hypnosis side, they don't focus on the comedy side. And that's what you can bring to the table is you're not only just funny, and it's like the crossbreed between it. So it's not like, hey, I'm gonna make this guy do some stupid stuff like, bark like a dog or look like a chicken or something. You actually make it a comedy, like almost like a set, like it's like a little individual little shows inside of your show, and that's what makes you unique. Not saying anything bad about the other comedians, but you're closer to a stand-up comic, and you bring the hypnosis into it, so it's like more of an adventure. So that's why I could classify you as a funny. But I'm not trying to toot your horn. We're trying to talk about unique date ideas. So. Would you say that going and seeing comedy shows, would that be, I think it's unique just because every show can be different, especially with yours. I mean, every show is completely different. But would you recommend that to be like a unique date idea?
I would, and for a lot of reasons. First of all, again, it's uplifting, it's fun, people like to laugh, and also if it's a date, that like a first or second date, I think getting to know someone's sense of humor is real important. So. Right. Whether or not they have a very liberal sense of humor or whether they're easily offended, I think that goes a long way to telling something about that person and whether or not they'd be a good fit for you.
Right. No, I think you're right. I mean, if they laugh at the the Asian jokes or the rape jokes or something, put a ring on it. They might be a keeper. If they're just shaking their head when you're talking about something that's not offensive, they might not be able to take a joke. Depending on who the individual is, I don't know. With the girl I would date, she better be able to take a joke because I'm going to say some, funny things and I want her to laugh and enjoy what I say. Or at least set up the date perfectly. Like, you come in and you don't have to be the funny guy. You can just kind of sit down and watch a comedy show. Flip or some other nationally touring comic makes her laugh, makes her have a great night. And it's almost kind of like, it's like the appetizer for the evening. The funny's already out of the way. You guys can talk about it for the rest of the night. If you want to take off, have more drinks, or finish up the evening someplace else. It's memorable. It's cool. It definitely, in my opinion, is unique. Probably not as unique as the Bill Cosby adventure, but definitely I recommend watching some stand-up comedy, supporting your live comedy clubs. Hey, Flip, I hate to bother you. Thanks for your time, man. I really appreciate you coming and joining us today. Of course, you can always see Flip. You're somewhere this weekend. I don't know where you're going to be this weekend, but you're somewhere in the country. Heck, he might be in your backyard. So look him up, fliporley.com. You can always message us, comment below, and I'll be happy to share where Flip is in the country. It's kind of like where in the world is Carmen Sandiego, but with you, Flip. So we'll send him.
I'd have gone with Waldo because, again, it's simpler, but either way, good. Yeah. Either way.
The name Flip. It's so funny. Is that really your real name, Flip?
Yeah, actually it is. And it sucked when you're 6. It sucked in first grade. But as time went by, it got better. And when you become a comic, it's a damn fine name to have.
There's no other comedian named Flip. I can assure you of that.
Not that's a lot right now.
It will be next weekend. Let's do it. Let's get some other local comic to just take your name, and then you can try to sue him. That'd be fun. Hey, Flip, thanks for joining us today. YouTube audience, let us know if you have any questions. Add him. You guys see the buttons and the links and all that stuff. Click them, do your thing. Thanks again, Flip. Have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.
You too. Thanks. Appreciate it.
All right.